Hello students. Immediately after the process of implantation, that implanted site only gets transformed into the structural and functional unit between mother body and the embryo, that is called what? Placenta. Okay, implantation of the blastocyst may occur either to the right wall, to the left wall, anterior wall, posterior wall, or it may occur to fundic region. Anywhere it may occur. Okay, that is very important. In the last lecture, I shown the implantation to this region. The same thing, that site only grow into what? Placenta ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Just for the drawing convenience, what I will do, the same thing I will show here. Okay, no confusion. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೂ ಏನಾಗಬಹುದು? Implantation ಆಗಬಹುದು. Now, in the implanted site, a finger-like structure called what is formed? Chorionic villi, right? That chorionic villi only, see, I am drawing the chorionic villi. It is the chorionic villi. Now, from chorionic villi, what will arise? Umbilical cord will arise. I will label it here. What is this? Umbilical cord, ಕರಳು ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಿ. Through umbilical cord, right? Imagine it is a baby. Imagine ಮಾಡಿ, okay? It is a embryo or the fetus. So, right here is the embryo. Now, in the implanted site, the chorionic villi, finger-like structure, which along with uterine tissue, what is this? Wall of the uterus. Chorionic villi along with uterine tissue and maternal blood vessel. Imagine large number of blood vessels are present here. These are the blood vessels of whom? It is the mother's blood vessel. So this organic association, I can call it as what? This can be called what? This entire association can be called placenta. Is that clear? So one more question. What is placenta? The organic association between, why I am using the word organic? Because it is functional. It is performing a lot of function. So organic association between chorionic villi, uterine tissue and maternal blood vessel together constitute placenta. Placenta is the structural and functional unit between mother's body and the growing embryo. ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರ ಮಿಡ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ functional association ಯಾವುದದು? Placenta. Is that clear? Now, through placenta, right? I'm sorry, the placenta is connected to embryo through what? Umbilical cord. Placenta connected to embryo through ಯಾವುದರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ? Umbilical cord. And very important thing, in this umbilical cord, blood vessels are present. That I will tell you what are those different blood vessels. In that, blood is there. Up to chorionic villi or umbilical cord, whatever blood you find, that entire blood is whose blood? Fetus blood. It is not the mother's blood. Mother's blood never enter to fetus blood or the umbilical cord ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, right? That's why this placenta act as a what? Barrier and prevent the direct mixing of mother's blood with the fetus blood. ಯಾಕೆ? ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಗುವಿನ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಆದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ embryo. So it never mix up with the fetal blood. Anyhow, a 2 or 3 mark question. Mention the functions of placenta. Number 1, placenta helps in the transport of nutrients from mother's blood to fetal blood. I repeat, it helps in the transport of nutrients from the mother's blood. ತಾಯಿ ತಿಂದ ಫುಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಇದೆ, ತಾಯಿಯ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ Amino acids, the end products of digestion, are absorbed by placenta and added to baby's blood. It goes to baby's digestive system, transport of nutrients. Number 2, placenta helps in the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between maternal blood and fetal blood. That means the oxygen present in the mother's blood through placenta added to fetal blood goes to the baby. Baby produces carbon dioxide reaches placenta, added back to whose blood? Mother's blood. Exchange of respiratory gases. Number 3, placenta helps in, placenta ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ ಕೇವಲ ಕೊರಿಯೋನಿಕ್ ವಿಲ್ಲೈ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರಲಿ, ಈ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಾ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಟಬಾಲಿಕ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ, ಲೈಕ್ ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ದೀಸ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ umbilical cord. From placenta, the urea is added to whose blood? Mother's blood. Through mother blood, the urea goes to mother's kidney. Through mother's kidney, through her urine, it is eliminated out. So by this it is very clear that mother eats for 2, mother breathe for 2, mother excrete for 2. ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? The first 3 function. Fourth function of placenta is it act as a storehouse. Placenta act as a storehouse and stores iron, fat and other things, other essential things in the placenta is stored. It act as a storehouse, stores fat, iron, glycogen, etc. is stored here. When? Before the formation of liver. This fat, glycogen, iron, etc. right now in you, it is stored in your liver, right? But in the baby, before the formation of liver, all these things are stored in the placenta. Function number 5. Placenta act as a barrier, barrier, act as a barrier, a wall, thereby prevents the entry of maternal hormones, drugs and microbes present in the mother blood to fetus blood. Placenta act as a barrier, prevents the entry of maternal hormones. I told you already, if she has growth hormone in her blood, estrogen is there, progesterone is there. These things should not enter to whose blood? Mother's blood. That is prevented by whom? Placenta. Microbes present in the mother blood is prevented by placenta. Generally we say placenta prevent the entry of microbes. But when it comes to the matter of HIV, which is responsible for causing AIDS, ತಾಯಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ HIV ಇದ್ರೆ HIV ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೂಮ್? ಬೇಬಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈವನ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್. ತಾಯಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಹೋಗದೇ ಇರುವಾಗೆ ನೋಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಯಾವುದು? ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಾ. ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಾ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ನಲ್ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ during pregnancy period, if mother consumes alcohol, right, tobacco and other drugs are there, if alcohol and tobacco are consumed, this alcohol can easily cross this and can affect the growth of the child. Generally it will prevent. There are few chemicals or substances that cannot be, exceptions is there in everything, right? No, which cannot be prevented. Is that clear? That is all about the function of placenta. But very important, one more point. From placenta, an antibody will cross and goes to fetus blood. Which is that? ತಾಯಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಒಂದು ಆಂಟಿಬಾಡಿ ಮಗುವಿನ ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಾವನ್ನು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ it goes to the baby's blood. That antibody is IgG antibody, can cross placenta and go to fetus blood, gives immunity to the fetus. This point is very important. ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಇಬ್ಬರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 5 ಆಂಟಿಬಾಡಿಗಳು ಇವೆ. ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ? 5. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದೇ? IgG, IgA, IgM, IgE ಅಂಡ್ IgD. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೌ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್? ನಾಟ್ ಗೇಮ್ಸ್, gamed. The 5 antibodies in our blood are IgG, IgA, IgM, IgE, IgD. Only IgG can cross placenta during pregnancy. The remaining cannot cross. Okay. The last function, the next function of the placenta is, this is very important, point number 6. Placenta act as endocrine gland. This placenta itself act as a endocrine gland. How? By producing hormones. The 4 different types of hormones produced by placenta are, 4 ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ನಲ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್, ನಾಟ್ ಟು ಫೀಟಲ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್. ಈ 4 ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಏನು ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬೈ ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಾ ಬಟ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಟು ಹೂಸ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್? Mother's blood, not to fetus blood. Clear? Okay, mark this as a very important 3-mark question. The 4 hormones are, number 1, HCG means human chorionic gonadotrophin. Okay, try to recall. Human chorionic gonadotrophin, in short HCG, is the hormone that helps in maintaining the 9-month of the pregnancy in the female blood and urine. A female in a blood ಮತ್ತು urine ಅಲ್ಲಿ HCG hormone ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ she is pregnant, and HCG is produced only during pregnancy, which maintain the entire 9 months of pregnancy. The detailed study is there that I will do in the NEET class. Okay. The another hormone produced is HPL, that is human placental lactogen, not IPL, it is HPL, right? Whenever the word lactogen comes, it's something related to milk or related to breast, right? What is the function of human placental lactogen? It helps in the growth of the mammary gland. In this lady, it helps in the growth of the mammary gland and prepares the mammary gland to produce milk. ಆ 9-month ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು, ಆ ಬ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿನ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಮಿಲ್ಕ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್? ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೋಜನ್. ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ estrogen, and you know about it. The 4th one is progesterone. Mark this as a very, very important question. Name the hormones of placenta. The mistake that you do in the board's exam is you write number 1 HCG. Iste baritiri. Don't do that. You have to write complete human chorionic gonadotrophin in bracket HCG. Is that clear? Okay, this is all about the function of placenta. These are the NCERT concept. Let me just elaborate this one. Okay, very important. Now, if you observe here, you will find an outermost covering, okay, around the embryo. This is called what? Chorion. Chorion is an outermost layer that has developed from trophoblast of the blastocyst. The trophoblast of the blastocyst only grow into chorion, and chorion produce what? Chorionic villi. So what we have to discuss, an important NEET concept called the human embryo is covered by 4 extra embryonic membrane. How many? 4 extra embryonic membranes found covering the embryo. What are those 4? Number 1, chorion. I told you about it just now. It is the outermost covering developed from the trophoblast of the blastocyst. Chorion helps in the formation of chorionic villi. The next membrane found surrounding the embryo is what? Amnion. What is number 2? Amnion. Okay. The embryo is immediately covered by amnion. Between embryo and amnion, there is a cavity. This cavity is called amniotic cavity, and the cavity is filled with a fluid. It is not air filled. It is filled with fluid. What is that fluid surrounding the embryo called? This fluid is called amniotic fluid. Which fluid? Amniotic fluid. So when we were in our mother's womb, we were dipped in amniotic fluid. What are the functions of this fluid? Number 1, it acts as a shock absorber. Thereby, it prevents mechanical stress exerted on the embryo during the vigorous physical activity of the mother, right? Some pressure will be exerted on embryo during a slight fall of the mother, athava when the pregnant lady changes her posture during sleep. During all this condition, pressure exerted on the embryo is prevented by which fluid? Amniotic fluid, and act as a shock absorber. It also keeps the embryo moist. Nothing but it prevents desiccation of the embryo, dryness of the embryo, and keeps the embryo moist. Number 3, it allows free movement of the embryo. You know, the baby will do dishum dishum. Am I right? All is well, all is well. You might have heard about in or seen about in some movies. That movement of the baby is possible because there is a fluid called what? Amniotic fluid. But a very important point for you doctors is, you doctor will collect through the syringe, you will collect a small amount of which fluid? Amniotic fluid, for a test called, okay, amniocentesis. What is the test called? Amniocentesis is a test by collecting which fluid? Amniotic fluid. What is the use of this? See, this fluid has cells of the baby. When we take bath, lot of cells of the body will be sloughed out, alwa. Now I'm 100% sure if you check the shirt, my shirt has lot of cells of my body. ಈ cells ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, DNA ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಫಾರೆನ್ಸಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. Try to understand the cells of the baby that has detached are in the amniotic fluid. You examine those cells present in the amniotic fluid. You check the chromosomal condition to identify the genetic disorders in the baby. Whether before birth only the baby has any genetic disorder like Down syndrome ಇದೆಯಾ, Klinefelter, Turner ಅಂತ syndrome ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ you will do a test called what? Amniocentesis. If during the test baby found with any kind of genetic disorder, to avoid after birth problems, complications, you can tell that mother that, see, the baby is having so and so problem, better you can undergo abortion. If she want, right, she can undergo, you can carry out which one? Abortion also. So to identify genetic disorders, right, Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, we will do which one? Amniocentesis. And the same test can also be used for identifying sex of the baby. ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಆ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮಿನ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ ವೆದರ್ ದ ಬೇಬಿ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆರ್ ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? Amniocentesis. But today it is banned in India as it is misused for killing the female baby. By identifying sex, female baby anna kill madlikke idanna use madodrinda the test is banned. So dear students, amniocentesis is a test which uses amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid has the cells of the embryo. Those cells chromosomal study is done to check genetic disorders and sex of the baby. It is the second membrane. Clear? After that, you will find one more, a sac-like structure on one side of the umbilical cord, which is called yolk sac. Number 3, the third one is what? Yolk sac. What is this yolk sac? It is a vestigial organ in the humans. In case of reptiles and birds, the yolk sac is very well developed, which help in the nourishment of the embryo. Why? Because reptiles and birds are oviparous, egg laying. Embryo grows in the egg. That embryo require nourishment, and the nourishment will be done by a structure called yolk sac. But we also received yolk sac during the course of evolution from our reptilian ancestors. ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಮಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ ಆನ್ಸೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಯಾರು? ರೆಪ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್, ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ರೆಪ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಬರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಯಾವುದು ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ರೆಪ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮಲ್ಸ್ there is an animal called egg laying mammal, echidna and platypus alva. The echidna and platypus, they have the property of mammal called breast, mammary gland. They have a property of reptiles of egg producing nature and some other also there. So we inherited this from reptilian ancestor. In reptiles, yolk sac helps in nourishment. We also have it, but it is not serving the purpose. It is not helping in nourishment of the embryo. Why? Because in our case the nourishment is done by whom? Placenta ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? Vestigial structure ಆಗಿದೆ. Okay, it is not helping in the, what is that? Nourishment process. Okay, but ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ, during embryonic stage, not fetal stage, during embryonic stage, yolk sac help in RBC production. Okay, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ RBC ಅನ್ನ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ? yolk sac. On another side of the umbilical cord, you will find one more sac-like structure which is called allantois. Okay, number 4, what is that? Allantois. It is also a vestigial structure inherited from reptilian ancestors. In them, allantois helps in both respiration and excretion. In whom? In reptiles. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? ವೆಸ್ಟಿಜಿಯಲ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಡನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್? ಪ್ಲಾಸೆಂಟಾ. ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ less functional or it is poorly developed in case of humans. So these are the 4 extra embryonic membrane covering the embryo. These labelings are there, but the meaning is or explanation is not there in the NCERT. Better to refer this. Is that clear? Now, if you observe, the placenta is connected to embryo through what? Umbilical cord. This umbilical cord is made of 3 blood vessels. Umbilical cord ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು blood vessel ಇದೆ? 3 blood vessels are there. What are they? Out of the 3, 2 are umbilical arteries. See, when an artery is present in the kidney, we call renal artery alva. Likewise, ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಲಿವರಿಗೆ ಆದರೆ hepatic artery. As artery present in the umbilical cord, I call it as what? Umbilical artery. And one is umbilical vein. 2 umbilical artery and 1 umbilical vein together form an umbilical cord which carry whose blood? Maternal blood or fetal blood? Fetal blood is present in that. And last point, throughout my explanation I use the term sometime embryo, sometime I call it as fetus or sometime called baby. Manipal Academy of Higher Education, before this beginning of NEET exam, okay, when introduced, before that Mahe had, the Manipal University has their own MBBS exam. In that they ask one very beautiful question: when you will call the developing human as embryo? ಯಾವಾಗ ನೀವು ಈ human ಅನ್ನ embryo ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಿ? Take it as a note. Developing human is called what? Embryo. ಯಾವಾಗ? up to 2 months. Up to 2 months, first 2 months of the pregnancy only, the human is called embryo. After that, from 3rd month to 9th month, the developing human is called fetus. From 3rd to 9th month, the developing human is called what? Fetus. And after delivery ಆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಿ? Infant or neonate. Okay, ಯಾವಾಗ? After birth. Okay, these are the terms or the names referring to human growth.